Well, baby gorillas, and here we are, Princess Street, and we're with a young lady called
Carol.
Carol, and Carol's here with her sign saying NATO stop cowardly bombing Pakistan, Iraq, Yemen, Afghanistan, Somalia, Libya and Syria. So
they're going to destroy Ukraine now, like they left Afghanistan. NATO left Afghanistan in ruins. Starvation, poverty. They did nothing. $2 trillion America spent on Afghanistan, and look how they left it. The arms industry. And when people wake up, they're paying for all this for nothing. What did any of these countries do to Britain? Tell me anything these countries did to Britain. Nothing. Lies, all about money.
Are you part of a group? Are you? Come back, don't run away. Margaret, come over as well. So tell us, are you part of a group? Are you part
Women in Black.
And tell us about your group and your organisation.
We stand for peace. We want to stand against the arms industry making so much money and robbing Britain. Why are we poor? Why are we poor? Sending trillions and trillions of arms all over the world for years and years. No.
And are you a member of any political groups or anyone that can put pressure on
no
government?
No political group can be changed. They're not in politics unless they agree with war.
I would say that they're all globalist shills. That's my sort of...
Whatever you want.
Exactly. That's my sort of synopsis.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think we're disagreeing. I think we're maybe just changing on semantics. So, cowardly bombing. Did they bomb Pakistan?
They bombed Baluchistan. They took the people out of Baluchistan in Pakistan.
When was this?
Probably 15 years ago.
Okay.
They took them out, they bombed it, and the people went back.
Right.
Try that.
That's
Think about
that. Tell us more. We know what happened in Iraq. It's been terrible.
Did you know they dropped depleted uranium, a low-grade nuclear weapon in Iraq, and women in Iraq are being asked in some areas not to have children because of the head-spinningly grotesque birth defects.
Wow. And tell us more. You're doing very well. That's interesting. I used to stay in the Middle East.
Interesting. It's crimes, war crimes.
No, I'm interested in what you're saying. Yemen's horrific as well, isn't it? I've got friends in
Yemen. In Yemen, our pilots and our bombs fly over Yemen, and they say they're teaching the pilots. They've been teaching the pilots for years and years. Our pilots are flying the planes. Probably our pilots are dropping the bombs. I'm not on the plane, so how can I know?
There's some horrendous figures for these children being starving as well. So let's keep going with Afghanistan, a total disaster as well. Joe Biden just left all the weapons there.
America spent $2 trillion on Afghanistan in 20 years. Do you see it now?
Yeah.
Mass starvation, hospitals, people dying of malnutrition, children dying of $2 trillion. Where did it go? It went to the arms industry and the corrupt governments.
You need to know who owns. We need to find out who owns the arms industry.
You know who owns that? Banks.
The banks own the arms
industry.
industry.
Banks make money out of the arms industry. Who pays for the weapons? The banks.
And tell us about.
They take a cut. They're not going to do a transaction without being paid for it.
Of course,
no. So even buttons. Arms, uniforms, boots, and go up to the bombs and the missiles and everything else.
Tell us, keep going. Somalia then.
I don't know much about Somalia. All I know about Somalia and Ethiopia.
There's problems in Ethiopia. I just spoke to people from Ethiopia.
My husband was sent to Somalia on a medical mission. He was from Iraq as a medical mission in the middle of '75, and they're still at war. 50 years. Who's supplying the weapons?
Right, so we know about Syria. Syria is a disaster, and Libya is a disaster.
Absolutely gone.
But do you think this is just
Gaddafi built Syria. I'm not a supporter of Saddam or Gaddafi, but they built their country.
Secularly as well. A bit authoritarian, but secularly.
That's why they were got rid of. They don't want any power in the Middle East, except Israel, of course.
And both became failed states. And do you think this is because of the globalist agenda?
Because of the arms industry.
Well, I think it's the globalist agenda.
You can choose whatever you want. It'll be right.
And they can. That's right. And I think also that the globalists want the central banks in each of these countries as well, isn't it?
And Russia and China.
And they're the last holdouts. They're the biggest holdouts, aren't they?
All in together.
And for the one world government, one world new order.
They pretend that they're fighting each other, but I'm sure some of it's arranged. Look at Russia in Syria.
Well, Putin was part of the leadership programme for Klaus Schwab's WEF.
He's KGB before. He's
Uh-huh.
no angel, my
No,
goodness. No,
certainly not.
angel. No.
Certainly not. Carol, listen, thanks very much. You've been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
Welcome
I
to the
know.
Guerrilla
I'm
TV
only
channel.
telling you the truth.
No, it's all true. We already know that. We already know in the Guerilla TV channel.
Margaret.
Margaret, how you doing? I'm David. Nice to meet you, Margaret.
I just agree with Carol.
They all get shy. They all get shy. So we've got around the world, women in black stand in peace. Don't know if you can see that. No to NATO. No to NATO.
And the dog agrees.
No, this is all backwards. I don't know if this will come out forwards when I put it out, but no to NATO, no to Trident, no to war. Bring peace and prosperity. I don't think that's what the globalists are doing. Hi there, how you doing, buddy? How are you? You got anything you want to say? No, you're a bit shy. Everybody's shy. The Holy Bible. Right, okay, so, quite interesting. Well, I think we already know the globalists. I mean, the arms, what they're saying about that, the arms industry is only a mechanism. It's like downwind of the globalist agenda. So the globalist agenda comes first, and then obviously the profiteering and corporatism from the arms industry. And I've got a lot of friends in the Middle East who I love dearly, and I certainly don't want to see them all getting bombed and destroyed, which is definitely what's happening just now. Unfortunately, there's lots of very worrying things that are happening in the Middle East. So I just thought I would bring you that. I thought that was quite interesting, the young ladies.